guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aditya and in this video we'll be learning about functions. So let's begin with the definition of a function. So what exactly is a function? A function is a block of code which executes and returns data to us when it is called. So if you are a complete beginner to programming, it might be really difficult for you to understand. So let's go ahead on the screen and check out how do we do that. And for an example, we'll be using an addition. How do we add two numbers using functions? So let's go on the screen and check out how do we do that. So hey guys, right now we are on the screen. So let me just full screen that. I have opened it on REPL.it as the same. So I have created a new file called functions, and inside that we'll be writing the function, how example of a function. So as I have told you, we'll write addition function. So the syntax is very similar. So function, so we write function and then we write the function name. What do we want to call that? And then we give some brackets and then curly braces. So now this is how a function structure looks. So in this curly braces, we'll be doing whatever the function wants to do, or like what we define a function will do. So first, in these brackets, we have to mention those two values which we want to take. So val1 and val2. So these will be the two numbers which we will take and add them. So I can just write return and then I'll just keep the brackets so that and then val1 comma val2. So this makes it clear. So we are returning these val1 and val2 and have kept these brackets so that it is easy to know what is in the return statement. And here we can do more operations. So these val1 and val2 which we are giving in these brackets after the name are called as parameters. As you can see, when I hover them, we are getting parameters. So this is actually a parameter. A parameter is something or a value or a variable which is used by the function. So this val1 is actually being used. Now actually I kept comma over here, val1. We are going to return the addition, right? So we must add them. So we'll return val1 plus val2 and the return statement is used to return the data. Now let's see how do we call this function or how do we use this function. So we write the name of the function. As you can see, I've got the IntelliSense. Now and now it is saying we must add two values like val1 and val2, and those two values I'll just give like 5 comma 5. So now it should give us the output as 10. So as you can see, actually the output is 10. So this is working fine. Actually, it is not actually printing to the console. It is this JavaScript engine which is showing that when we run this function, it is returning a value of 10. We can actually use console.log to print this to this console, or we can even store it in a variable. So I can just write var add val, so addition value after addition. So addition value is equal to add, and then we console.log it. So console.log, and inside that we'll write add val, and we keep semicolon to end the statement, and let's run this. So we are still getting the 10. Actually it is not showing, so let me just change the value so that we can notice it. So let me keep just 7, and now it is running. As you can see, we have got the answer as 12. So the returned data, so here we are returning some data, that is the addition value, and that data can be stored in a variable. So this is how a function works. We can do multiple operations like function create. So suppose I write another function. So function, so one thing is that you can assign functions to variables. So that is because of a concept called like all the function is an object, and that's why we can use it in a variable. So let's not discuss about that right now. So I'll just create a variable called let create, and inside that we'll give a function. So function, and when we are assigning a function to variable, we don't give the name of the function right here on the right hand side, because we are already declaring it here in the variable. So we write function and we keep brackets and curly braces and done. Now we can write the function. So let's like function greet and console.log, and then we print hello, and we'll say how are you, how are you. So yeah, and now let's call this function. So notice here written is not so important, but we use it so that it makes something little bit easier. So now we can just leave the written statement. I'm not using it right now in this function, so I'll just clear this thing and let me call this function greet. And notice that we have not given any parameters. So actually I forgot to tell you one thing, that when you assign over here, when you tell this function is going to use these two values, these are called as parameters. And when you are giving some value, that time they're called as arguments. The arguments, what are the arguments you gave to the function? They ask like that when you go to other programmers or check their program code. So that time they're called as arguments when you are executing the function or calling the function. So now this function greet is not taking any arguments, and let's run this program. And as you can see, we have got the output as hello, how are you. So let's try to add a variable or a parameter inside that, like name. You can name it anything. A parameter can be named as anything, and inside these we'll use like these braces, and inside that, that was actually in Python. I think we can even use them in JavaScript. I just got confused. So for now, let's just write this thing, hello, how are you, and how are you, and again some braces and one more plus sign. So this, when we add this name in the between, so it's gonna concatenate. This called as concatenation when we are adding strings. So when we add strings, that's called as concatenation, and we add numbers, that's called as addition. So now we should pass a variable over here. I'll be like ram, maybe ram, or yeah, ram. Now let's run this. So as you can see, we have got hello ram. Actually we have not mentioned here question mark. So question mark, and run this again. So as you can see, we are getting hello, how are you ram. So here it is concatenating the string. It is using the parameter, and this is an argument. We are giving an argument, we are defining a parameter. So that was about function, guys. It's a very easy concept and you can use it to make magic like in programming. It's very interesting topic. Please check that out. So see you in the next video, but please be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down in the description so that I can answer all your questions. Thanks for watching.